क्या वर्बली मैंने जो बताया मैडम को कुछ उतना ही है, क्या है? Have you sent her anything, राजकुमार?
नहीं, अभी नहीं भेजी मैम।
अच्छा, तो मैडम व्हाट वी विल डू इज आपसे थोड़ा सा प्रेजेंटेशन लेंगे, नॉट वेरी लॉन्ग, मे बी
Sir, I am with my presentation. If you want.
हाँ, तो डोंट मेक इट टू लॉन्ग। इसमें लास्ट टाइम जो आपका कॉन्सेप्ट नोट हमने देखा था एक्चुअली, उसमें certain concerns came which I have communicated to you by phone, ठीक है ना? तो उसी का ऊपर ही कुछ क्वेश्चन आएगा। I would like to give you basically some suggestions in that direction, and I think that will be a good value addition for the purposes for which you have taken up, ठीक है ना? So you please start with your presentation and then we'll ask.
So I'm not able to share it. Can I?
देखिए मैम, मैंने कर दिया है।
आपने शेयर कर दिया है?
Yes.
So yours is not visible to me. Should I open my? Okay, I am with my presentation. I don't know. I think I'll share with you slide number. Okay. So shall I start it, sir?
Please, madam.
Thank you. Yeah, so as you know, this topic is promoting mental health awareness in rural communities using psychoeducational programs. Broadly here, objective is to share with them, mental health knowledge, जागरूकता अगर हम उस तरह से बोलें तो, because in rural areas is comparatively less. Therefore, we decided to reach out to the rural community with the help of digital platforms and technology. And we are creating number of psychoeducational videos, focus group discussions, interviews, etc. And it's all in Hindi because when we are, especially if we talk about rural India, then I think Hindi is most spoken language. So in last 6 months, we have created after joining this main project under Ruta, we have created 55 videos, and now we have clear-cut categories. Some videos are related to positive psychology, like on positive aspects of mental health, happiness, resilience, great growth mindset, etc. Some on outrightly on mental health. Some of them are more clinical psychology oriented, mental health disorders oriented, because we think they should know at least what it is and how things are happening when we talk about depression, what it is and what kind of symptoms we could have if we have a high level of depression, anxiety, stress, and all those. We have also translated some ongoing programs in happiness curriculum in Delhi school, soft skills. It's I think from Telangana. There is one school-going students program on soft skills, and our objective is, if sometimes we interact with school-going and college-going students, we could display such kind of videos which they could understand in their own language. We have one section in this series, Baat Pate Ki. And in this case, what we are doing, we are not going only with hardcore psychological messages, but some religious spiritual messages which could help us to have better well-being. We also have one another section, Uski Kahani, Wo, and without giving name and identity of a person, we are describing what's happening if we are not much aware about mental health issues, like on depression, in which मतलब जिसमें हमने लिखा है कि कैसे डिप्रेशन होने से एक लड़की को पागल करके उससे इवन डिवोर्स ले लिया गया. And these all actually scripts are based on real life experiences. In one another story, that's a paranoid disorders, personality disorder, and that's why husband is suspicious in each and everything. जो भी उनकी वाइफ से रिलेटेड जो भी बातें होती हैं, और वो कैसे उसे नहीं पता कि ये बीमारी के कारण ऐसा करते हैं, and she's also having too high level of stress because of this, कि वो हर चीज में उसे शक करते हैं, और जैसे ही उसे पता लगता है कि ओ ये तो इनकी बीमारी के कारण है, तो वो बहुत रिलैक्स्ड फील करती है. In one section, because we are talking about rural society, so we are just taking rural aspects also. And actually in 2010 I initiated this project with the folk songs only. So before joining this project, we had some documentaries on gender discrimination, how it's reflecting in folk songs, Arya Samaj, in which there are various well-being promoting or social welfare promoting messages in folk songs. Satsang, we wrote one research paper published in a good journal. So how it's beneficial and getting message driven songs, we can say. In fact, I have already initiated this section, Charcha Muddon Par, socio-cultural issues, because when we talk about mental health, there are two main domains. One, you and your characteristics. Second, your surrounded environment. What kind of factors you have? Are these inhibiting or hindering your well-being, or are these facilitating your well-being? So through these these videos, we are interested to address socio-cultural issues in rural society. So this is the list of already done videos. You could see that's a mindfulness flow. This is all related to positive psychology. It's related to can say today's issue. आज के युवक को काम करने के साथ साथ काम पैदा करना भी सीखना होगा. असंतुलित होता समाज, लड़कियों या लड़कों की कमी. यहाँ हम कह रहे हैं कि लड़कियों की कमी है, ये बात सही है, बट एट मैरिजेबल एज लड़कों की कमी है. एंड उसके रीजंस हैं कि लड़कियां डूइंग बेटर कंपेयर टू बॉयज. छोटे छोटे मैसेज भी हैं, जैसे ऑक्सीजन मास्क means take care of your through introspection, through savadhyay you should know where you are wrong and how things are happening in your life. Oxygen mask, married life पे है ये. This is from positive psychology, again from positive psychology. From positive psychology, this is from clinical psychology, in which we are just talking about what are the characteristics of obsessive compulsive disorders and how do they perceive happiness, college going students. And these are certain, like uski kahani wo depression. So for jagrukta or awareness, we are creating such kind of videos where people know this is a minor issue and treatable. Don't stigmatized it. No stigma must not be there, where they are just calling it पागल और वो हमेशा के लिए है. तो ये हमारा इनके लिए ऑब्जेक्टिव रहा है. Again, it's mixture of all, from positive psychology, from clinical psychology, from can say religious, spiritual, lighter messages, but in depth how these are helpful for our mental health. आपके जीवन को रिमोट कंट्रोल, आपके जीवन का रिमोट कंट्रोल किसके हाथ में है? कहीं आपको फुर्सत ही तो परेशान नहीं कर रही. ये मैंने इसलिए लिखा बिकॉज इन पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी, स्पेशली इन लेटेस्ट रिसर्च, they are saying that if you don't have meaning in your life, you have specific purpose in your life, then that's reducing your mental health, your happiness. So like that, without going with this orientation, psychological orientation, simple message in certain settings we have. So immediate delayed gratification, post traumatic stress, some of them are based on even on TED Talks, because I observed that in some cases these messages are research based and to some extent helping us to have better well-being. This is from this Delhi happiness curriculum series, in which we have translated in simple sense and what are the ways of doing these techniques. And because it's for school going children, so these are quite simple, and we have created such kind of videos so that we can use, as I mentioned, in future we can use them, and even other people can use if they are having such kind of programs for rural community schools or rural community children. Some of them, as I mentioned, clearly based on a research and through some blogs or TED talks, but messages are quite clear. In this sense, actually, they are saying that that's uh, our brain conditioning, and how we can recondition it, neuroplasticity. They are talking. So like that, we have already created 57 videos. As again I am saying, we are considering Indian psychology, religious, spiritual, positive psychology, where from all the sources where we find some ways of improving their well-being. Then from this part onwards, we started to interact directly with the college going students, and my objective is to train them on online sessions, about online sessions, so that in future they can connect with us rural women online. Okay, so in this video, कैसे बनते हैं हम average say A+, and that's the book in positive psychology, average to A+. In this research, Professor Linley mentioned that if we are working on our strengths, knowing our character strengths, using them in better ways, then definitely we can improve our performance. And in this video, I just initiated this message, and then in between three girls interacting with me, and they are talking about their positive traits, their character strengths, and they are discussing how they have been using them and how they could use them in a better manner. So in this case, actually what's happening, I think college students easily can connect with this section, because they are just observing other girls talking about their character strengths. So from here we started it, and right now certain other things in this direction going on, which I'll discuss in the next slide. As I mentioned, not only positive psychology or mainstream psychology, but we are talking about Indian aspects also. Like in terms of personality, we are talking about sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. कौन से गुण हैं आप में, एंड वी आर डिस्क्राइबिंग कि सात्विक क्या होते हैं, राजसिक क्या होते हैं, तामसिक क्या होते हैं, और फाइनल भगवत गीता का क्या उपदेश है, तामसिक टू राजसिक, राजसिक टू सात्विक, और अगर आप सात्विक हैं तो हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव रहता है निर्गुणा होना. सो इस तरह से हम बहुत सारे मतलब एस्पेक्ट्स को यहाँ पे कवर कर रहे हैं. If I talk about outreach program, how it's getting its affiliation to some extent, or reaching out to more people. When we initiated, it was 5.44K, and now it's 5.47. Some of the videos they really like we created on stress management in say less than 1 year, it's, and by 3024 people it's viewed, and one was on food and mental health. जैसा खाओगे अन्न वैसा हो जाएगा मन, again it's more than 1000. Now onwards, I am interested to go with more socio-cultural issues. As you know, my main focus is on Haryanvi culture, and I have been addressing it one by one. Like in 2010, we collected number of songs, and even now we are writing one chapter with a edited book by some UK scholars with Oxford Press. And here in this book we are mentioning how folk songs representing their life, and you could see its views number. However, it was put in 2010, but there are various songs which have views more than 50,000, and in some cases even 1 lakh and above. Can see these some lower side views number. So they actually represent their life. So we are collecting songs which really have some message to deliver, and we are interested to use such kind of songs also. Now I am on the 9th slide. I don't know whether the same way these slides are moving or not, because I couldn't share it with you. So now in latest mode, as I mentioned, कैसे रखें कोविड-19 के दौरान अपने मानसिक स्वास्थ्य का ध्यान. In this video, one of my students who is clinical psychologist, she's interacting with me. Interacting with some students. We all are there, and then talking about some strategies to deal with it. And in the next one, कोविड-19 के दौरान मनोवैज्ञानिक रूप से कैसे मजबूत रहें, I focused more on positive psychology aspects, and I interacting with these girls. So if we have time, we can watch these videos. And in next section, as I mentioned, socio-cultural factors are really important, and I think we should talk more about them to know what are the facilitators and what are the inhibitors of their well-being. And we have created some videos, and going this series is going on. Like we are talking about mental health, obstacles in mental health. So in last video, which is now getting editing, that was on marriage issues. So they actually especially during college life, they have pressure to have marriage in between, and sometimes these circumstances are not suitable. So we discussed about them. In today evening, we are going to discuss on safety issues, because and they themselves suggesting these topics. They are saying that when they are coming from rural areas in buses and on different settings, they find very insecure environment, and even they are not able to share with their parents, because then they'll not permit to go outside, and they actually at personal level having a number of problems. So in on these platforms, we are talking like in terms of they. I usually ask them, don't say it happens with me. You just say in college with some girls happened it. So just to show to the society, these are the issues which should be addressed, and be vocal a little bit on such kind of things where girls are suffering and they are not able to share with others. In 2009, in one of our research paper in which we talk about say 10th to 12th school going girls gender perceived gender discrimination, during that period I observed number of quotations, phrases.
Madam, sorry, you have to conclude now so that we can have some time for discussion.
So last slide, sir. So in this case, number of derogatory terms were there, and we documented in that paper and observed that similar kind of things they are even having in the society, and feel low when they think such kind of things. Like if say these are in Haryanvi, I am trying to speak in Hindi, थोड़ा सा जो आपको समझ आए, कि एक वो बोलते हैं कि यो दुख से बेटी का जो, और कि वो रात में उठ के खा रही है, कि वो रात को उठ के एडिशनल फूड थोड़ी लेती है कि हमें उसका दुख हो. उसका दुख यही है कि अगर वो ससुराल जाती है, वहां अगर वो सही से एडजस्ट नहीं हुई तो ये प्रॉब्लम. और अगेन एंड अगेन इट्स स्पोकन इन द सोसाइटी. समाज वो समझता है. सो college on in this research paper, school going students actually mentioned this phrase again and again. Sometimes they say, अपने घर में मतलब पिताजी के घर में तुम्हें बहुत अच्छा कपड़ा नहीं पहनना चाहिए, बहुत ज्यादा मेकअप नहीं करना चाहिए, एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स. एंड द कॉमन टर्म इज बाप के बेटी को उधर लपेटी, मीन्स तुम्हें यहाँ पर अच्छा ओढ़ना पहनना अलाउड नहीं है. So like that, I asked them, do you have some such kind of phrases? And a long list of these phrases we have, where we want to have next, video. So like that, now I want to connect more with them, rural girls first, and then rural women, and we want to address socio-cultural issues in these directions. And because of all these things, we are not able to go in the field. So now I think slowly and slowly I could go with this internet platform. And that's,
Okay.
next 6 months we want to have extension. That's it.
Thank you, madam, for the presentation. And I, or rather, we all understand this is a very extremely important area. However, I have two critical observation. After that, I will let Sangeeta and others to also give their observation. So first thing is 55 in 6 months is really in a large number of videos you have created. So roughly about 9 to 10 videos. So our feeling was after you submitted that concept note and when you discussed internally, the number of, I mean, for your other research purposes, you can do hundreds actually, but for the purpose of this activity, the number of videos could have been less. On the other hand, what are the impacts actually it is creating? You have showed some impact in terms of number of views, but number of views may not really reflect the impact on the life of those people. So if you could create कुछ mechanism ऐसा निकले, either interviews or online फीडबैक, पता नहीं वो आप ही बता पाएंगी, ऐसा कुछ जैसा हमने 55 हमने निकाली वीडियोस ऑलरेडी, तो उसका कुछ इम्पैक्ट हम स्टडी कर पाए, दैट वुड बी ए नाइस प्रोबेबली नेक्स्ट स्टेज एक्टिविटी एज वेल, rather than creating another 100. So these two are my major observation. आपसे अभी immediate कुछ response नहीं मांग रहे, let's all others give their comment. At the end आपका feedback लेंगे. I will start with Sangeeta first.
Sir, may I respond this point?
एक साथ कर दीजिए ना, अलग अलग करेंगे तो बहुत टाइम लगेंगे, आप नोट करके रखिए, एक साथ में आप हो सकता है मेरा कमेंट सिमिलर एक रिस्पांस आएगा सर. संगीता, आर यू देयर? इफ नॉट, संगीता?
हाँ, आई एम देयर.
हाँ, तो यू प्लीज स्टार्ट.
Yeah, so कमलेश जी, बहुत ही मतलब really commendable. Your effort is very certainly very well intentioned and very commendable. बहुत effort गया है और बहुत ही appropriate wide ranging topics आप ले रहे हैं. बस इतना है कि जैसे हम लोग जब कुछ वीडियोस देख रहे थे तो हम लोग का एक जो मेन कंसर्न आ रहा है कि ओवरऑल कंटेंट तो बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन वीडियो जो है वो थोड़ी एमेच्योर लगती है हमको, कि जैसे जो लोग प्रोफेशनल वीडियोस बनाते हैं उनका एक इम्पैक्ट थोड़ा अलग रहता है. तो हमको ये लग रहा था कि अगर कुछ टॉपिक्स को लेके अगर किसी प्रोफेशनल वीडियो मेकर्स के साथ, या प्रोफेशनल ना भी हो, जो स्टूडेंट्स जिनके कुछ कई बड़े बहुत अच्छे आइडियाज होते हैं, वो लोग ऐसी चीजों में बहुत क्रिएटिव होते हैं, तो कुछ वीडियो जो हो वो एक जिसमें प्रोफेशनल टच आए. अभी क्या हो रहा है कि ज्यादातर वीडियोस में जो स्टैंडर्ड वो लिए गए हैं, कैमरा, हाँ, सो ज्यादातर उसमें स्टैंडर्ड जैसे वो सीन्स लिए गए हैं, क्लिपिंग्स लिए गए हैं जो अवेलेबल हैं नेट के ऊपर. लेकिन हाँ, तो मतलब वो रूरल सेटिंग में नहीं है, तो एक तो वो बात है. और दूसरा, जैसे वीडियो का प्रोफेशनल टच मिसिंग है. जैसे आपका प्रोफेशनलिज्म कंटेंट में है और वो बहुत अच्छा विजिबल है कि कंटेंट इज वेरी गुड, लेकिन वीडियो में हमको लगता है कि अगर आपका कोलैबोरेशन किसी ऐसी टीम से हो जाए जो वीडियो मेकिंग में थोड़ा प्रोफेशनलिज्म और क्रिएटिविटी ला सके, तो जो भी एफर्ट आप कर रहे हैं वो बहुत ही इम्पैक्टफुल हो जाएगा और हमको लग रहा है कि वो कई गुना उसका असर जाएगा फाइनली लॉन्ग लॉन्ग टर्म में, इट विल गो लॉन्ग वे, हमको ये लग रहा है। तो
ठीक है, एनीथिंग एल्स संगीता?
हाँ, अभी के लिए मेनली यही है।
अच्छा, रवि, you wanted to add anything?
Nothing new. Actually, I agree with both what Sangeeta said and you said, that fewer videos with more professional collaboration in order to make the best out of the content that has actually gone into it. Actually, thinking and the analysis, the psychology input that has gone into it is excellent. But उसको गांव वालों के लायक पसंद करने के लिए थोड़े से प्रोफेशनल हेल्प तो अच्छा।
भूपिंदर हमारे प्रोफेसर ऑफ प्रैक्टिस है, शायद आपने मिले होंगे पहले, वो भी हरियाणा से है, तो आई एम श्योर उन्होंने भी कुछ वीडियो देख रखी है, तो ही मे आल्सो गिव सम आइडिया सजेशंस।
जी सर।
नमस्कार कमलेश जी, so I think we are seeing each other for the first time.
अच्छा, ओके।
फर्स्ट टाइम मिल रहे हैं हम।
कमलेश मैम अब हमारा काफी पुराना दोस्ती है एक्चुअली, इवन दो हम स्टूडेंट अफेयर्स ऑफिस से थोड़ा कनेक्टेड रहा कोई दिनों, and she has been there for long years, and she is one of the experts in the area of this human mental health or mental psychology. Yeah, please.
तो कमलेश जी, मैंने जब लास्ट मीटिंग में आपका एक बनाया हुआ वीडियो मतलब रैंडमली हमने एक देखा, तो उससे मुझे दो तीन चीजें थोड़ी सी आउट ऑफ प्लेस लगी। मेरा थोड़ा फीडबैक जरा डायरेक्ट होता है, मैं डिप्लोमेटिक लैंग्वेज यूज करता हूं।
ये तो हरियाली ऐसी होती है ना, हरियाली डायरेक्ट होती है ना।
होता क्या है कि उसमें बहुत सारे विदेशी नाखून और शक्लें और अंदाज जो था वो फिट नहीं हो रहा था हमारे इंडिया के हरियाणा के रूरल सेटिंग में। तो मुझे मालूम नहीं था कि आपने उसमें इन्वॉल्व है। मैंने तो सिंपली थोड़ा सा होगा, मैंने कहा ये क्या है, आप कहाँ से कौन सी संस्कृति को कहाँ चिपकाना चाहते हो, ये तो बात बनेगी नहीं। दूसरा ये कि मुझे नहीं लगता कि अगर गाँव में मनोवैज्ञानिक ज्ञान जो हम डिफाइन करते हैं एकेडमिक एरियाज में, वो ना होने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो मानसिक तौर पे किसी बीमारी से ग्रस्त है। तो आपकी जो ओपनिंग स्लाइड थी उस पर मुझे थोड़ा सा वो एक इनडायरेक्ट मैसेज मिल रहा था, जो कि मैं चैलेंज एक तरह से करना चाहता हूँ कि वो शायद सही ना हो। हालांकि आपने जो इश्यूज बहुत सारे बताए हैं, जो कि डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस गवर्नमेंट की ओर से एड्रेस कर रही हैं, इन डिस्पैरिटी बिटवीन गर्ल्स एंड बॉयज, यू नो द काइंड ऑफ बिहेवियर जो वो पाते हैं समाज के अंदर, पर्टिकुलरली बसेस में जब कॉलेज जा रहे हैं, एंड ऐसे बहुत सारे मतलब बहुत सटल चीजें हैं जिसको एड्रेस करने की जरूरत है। लेकिन मतलब वीडियो लाइक से ये इंटरैक्ट या ये इंटरप्रेट करना कि वो सॉल्व हो रही हैं, आई फील कि वो थोड़ा मिसप्लेस्ड है। तो हमें अपना फोकस थोड़ा उस पर लेके आना पड़ेगा कि हम जो कर रहे हैं उसका रियली इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा, और वो किस हद तक रूटैक का जो ओवरऑल प्रोसेस है उसमें बेटर सम्मिलित होता है, या हो सकता है आपका इनिशिएटिव कहीं और ज़्यादा फिट होता हो, आई डोंट नो वेयर। तो ये सब आइडियाज मेरे माइंड में अभी आ रहे हैं। मैं तो नया हूँ पूरा, मतलब आई एम जस्ट अबाउट व्हाट 3-4 months इन द सिस्टम इन अ वे, एंड देन ऑन द सरफेस लेवल मे बी अ लिटिल लॉन्गर।
थैंक यू भूपिंदर। तो मैम आप जवाब देने से पहले जस्ट आपको इन्फॉर्म करना चाहता हूँ, हमने हमारे जो स्टाफ जो है हम सारे एक साथ मिलके हमने सारे देखा है एक्चुअली, एंड वी हैव डन ड्यू डिलिजेंस, बिकॉज हम चाहते हैं ये वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एरिया है, हम इसको एक लेवल तक पहुंचाना चाहते हैं जिसमें दिस विल बी एन यूनिक फीचर्स, यूनिक इवेंट। तो आप जो भी हमारी फीडबैक है, आई एम श्योर यू विल टेक इट इन दैट स्पिरिट और आगे उस हिसाब से लेके जाएंगे, बट मे बी यू कैन गिव योर रिस्पॉन्स एंड प्रोबब्ली लेट अस नो whether you can modify to take care of these comments as well.
जी सर, मैं भूपेंद्र जी से स्टार्ट करना चाहूंगी। मैं बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि गांव के लोगों को प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, लेकिन अवेयरनेस ना होने के कारण जहाँ पर इश्यूज हैं वहाँ पर वो उसे उस तरह से ट्रीटमेंट नहीं ले पा रहे हैं, उसे समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं। जैसे आप समझिए कि जितनी मैंने स्पेशली वो वाला केस स्टडीज जो बोल रही हूँ मैं, वहाँ पर जब कोई आपको इतनी प्रॉब्लमेटिक बात बताता है, जैसे मैंने उसमें एक डिप्रेशन वाली बात कही है, बिलीव मी दिस गर्ल वाज लिटरली क्राइंग लाइक एनीथिंग, और उसको सिर्फ ये हुआ था कि कभी उसने डिप्रेशन की मेडिसिन खाई थी कॉलेज टाइम में, और उन्होंने वो अपने हस्बैंड को बता दिया कभी भले टाइम में, एंड नाउ जब उनके साथ इश्यूज आए तो उन्होंने पूरी सोसाइटी में डिक्लेयर कर दिया तो पागल है, और ये पागलों के डॉक्टर से मिलती रही है। ये जिन लड़की की मैं बात बता रही हूँ आपको, वो लड़की एग्रीकल्चर साइंटिस्ट की बेटी है, आप समझिए। और जो लड़का ये जिसकी जो केस हुआ है, ये वो इंजीनियर है लड़का, लेकिन रूरल बैकग्राउंड से है और गांव का है, और इस तरह से ये कर रहा है। जो दूसरा जो केस मैंने बोला है, उसमें ये जो मैं बोल रही हूँ पर्सनैलिटी पैरानॉइड पर्सनैलिटी वाला केस, शक वाली बात, बिलीव मी वो लेडी इतना परेशान थी कि उसे नहीं पता था कि इनको मानसिक बीमारी के कारण ये मुझ पर शक कर रहे हैं। तो ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है। इनफैक्ट मैंने तो अपने एक रिसर्च में ये बोला है, सम ऑफ देम आर बेटर देन अस, सम ऑफ देम बेटर देन लाइक वी एजुकेटेड पीपल। तो उनकी मेंटल हेल्थ हमसे अच्छी है। दे आर नॉट डीलिंग विद डेली स्ट्रेसर्स जो हम लोग स्ट्रेस में रहते हैं, ठीक है ना। तो इसलिए वो बिल्कुल ही वो कारण नहीं है कि उनका, आई थिंक अबाउट 10-12 रिसर्च पेपर्स ऑन रूरल कम्युनिटीज मेंटल हेल्थ। जस्ट ए मिनट, मेरा कोई शायद कॉल है बाहर, जस्ट ए मिनट।
Okay, so in the meantime, I see 2 other attendees are here. Maybe many of you may not met at least one of them. And Ria, को मैं introduce. Ria, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Yeah. So Ria is a faculty at IIT Jammu.
Sorry.
एक मिनट, मैं थोड़ा रिया एक फैकल्टी है हमारी आईआईटी जम्मू से, उनको इंट्रोड्यूस करा रहा हूँ, आपका अपसेट है। तो शी इज आल्सो इंटरेस्टेड इन रूरल, तो मैंने बुला लिया, चलो हम कैसे मंथली मीटिंग करते हैं, आप आके देख लो। एंड वीना इज ऑफ कोर्स इज वन ऑफ द पीआई ऑफ आवर प्रोजेक्ट, so he is also there. Yeah, please go ahead.
So here actually 2 extremes are there. Some of them are they are not having any issues, and उनकी लाइफ हम जैसों से भी ज्यादा सुलझी हुई है।
मैडम ऐसा करते हैं, आई थिंक विदाउट स्ट्रेचिंग टू मच, आई नो दैट यू आर दी एक्सपर्ट, तो मोटा मोटा तौर पे थोड़ा ब्रीफली बता दीजिए, यू डोंट हैव टू गो टू द डीप।
और बता रही हूँ सर, जहां हम प्रोफेशनलिज्म की और ये बात कर रहे हैं, वो बहुत पैसा चाहिए उसके लिए।
वो पैसा हम अरेंज करेंगे मैडम, वो पैसा अरेंज करेंगे।
ओके,
ठीक है, यू फाइंड आउट।
ओके,
आप वो भी पैसा, हम हमारा ईटीसी से भी हेल्प ले सकते हैं, हमारा जो एजुकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी से है, इफ यू थिंक दे कैन हेल्प, वो उसको भी हेल्प ले सकते हैं।
सर इन लास्ट 2 वीडियोस we are interacting, some of us are interacting directly, like if it's a recorded talk, and later on if say this talk is going on mental health, so like that वो हमारा एक next इनिशिएटिव है, और अभी हमें नहीं पता कि ये किस तरह से जाएगा। सो दिस लाइक ट्रायल एंड एरर काइंड ऑफ। तो क्योंकि हम भी इस लाइन में एंट्री ही ले रहे हैं, जो हमारे रिसोर्सेज के साथ पॉसिबल हो पा रहा है वो हम कर रहे हैं। वो जो क्लिप्स वाली बात है, अब कुछ ऐसे आए हैं क्लिप्स जहाँ पे मैं उनको बोलती हूँ, बट दोज आर एक्चुअली इजीली अवेलेबल ऑन पाउटो सॉफ्टवेयर, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे आर डूइंग इट। Most of them are doing internship with me, except Deepika and one PhD student who are outrightly involved in this process. And about impact, so I am thinking when we will be having, say, more direct connections and talking more on socio-cultural issues, तो मुझे लग रहा है कि उस टाइम शायद ज़्यादा एक तरह से इंटरेक्शन बढ़ेगा।
मेरा सजेशन इसमें ये है, एक तो प्रोफेशनलिज्म का मैंने बता दिया पैसा का, बट आई विल कनेक्ट यू टू विज्ञान प्रसार। विज्ञान प्रसार जो है हमारा गवर्नमेंट का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, वहाँ पे एक लेडी है मिस किंकी करके कोई है, आई थिंक शी माइट हेल्प यू, बिकॉज वो भी वीडियो शूटिंग वगैरह करती रहती है एक्चुअली। पर हमारा रूट आकर भी वीडियो शूटिंग करना था, रुक गया किसी कारण से, So maybe she can help you if possible. Otherwise, आप प्रोफेशनल से भी बात कर लीजिए. Let us take a budgetary quote for about 5-10 videos. कितनी खर्चा होगी देख लेंगे. That may be part of the project. We may aside some money for that thing also. ठीक है, एक तो ये हो गया. दूसरा जो है, even you are waiting for the physical interaction, but COVID तो इतना जल्दी छूटेगा नहीं. So I was thinking that if you can think of an online or mobile based feedback, जैसे आपका 30,000 बंदा आ रहा है देखने के लिए एक्चुअली, सपोज वहां पे हम कुछ एक वीडियो लिंक दे दे, जे प्लीज गिव योर फीडबैक, और सम क्रिटिकल क्वेश्चन आप डिजाइन कर लीजिए, राइट, और वो गूगल शीट में आ जाए, वो टैबलेटेड हो जाएगी, राइट, उसको आप एनालिसिस कर सकती है ना. तो सेकेंड फेज में एटलीस्ट ये फीडबैक वाली पोर्शन इफ यू कैन काइंडली इंक्लूड, दैट्स नंबर 1. नंबर 2, प्रोफेशनल तो ये तो ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस है, आपको चेक करनी पड़ेगी. एंड आई एग्री विद दिस फॉरेन फेसेस वगैरह, इसको भी थोड़ा सा चाहे तो खुद ही सम वॉलंटियर्स से स्टूडेंट्स, उनकी फ्रेंड्स और हमारे रूटाक के कोई वॉलंटियर भी मिल जाएंगे इंटरव्यू देने के लिए. If these white faces can be replaced with the brown faces kind of thing, right? I mean, don't take it so I mean bluntly, so that I consider as a racist person. But ये actually relativity बात आ रही है ना. So if we see like that उस देश में होती है, तो if you 2-3 things can take care of it and reduce the number of videos in the second phase. So with this, I think if you can modify, I am sure we should be able to start very quickly. ठीक है. Okay. Thank you, madam, for coming and sharing experience.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, last point, should shall I submit something or
हाँ, इसको मॉडिफाई करके जो जो पॉइंट हम बोल रहे हम करना चाहते हैं, हम देखना चाहते हैं, जैसे एक तो फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म एक देखना चाहते हैं, आई मीन असेसिंग पार्ट, और प्रोफेशनल वीडियो वाला आप एक्सप्लोर करेंगे. नॉट दैट यू हैव टू गिव इमीडिएटली बजट, यू मे से यू कैन डू इट. एंड नंबर ऑफ वीडियोस को हमारा टारगेट रहेगा, आप इतना तो मत करें, रादर मे बी सेकेंड फेज का एम्फेसिस ये रहे, आप इसको जो 55 को कैसे आप एक बार इवेल्युएट करें, और maybe in the second phase may you limit the domain, not so many, maybe you may focus 4 or 5 which you think very critical at this stage, particularly COVID stage mein, rural sector mein, you know, and if you can specify those 4 or 5 areas, no, not too many actually, I mean 4 or 5 maybe 10 also depending on your expertise or your feeling, but don't make it too many actually, you know. ठीक है, तो ये मॉडिफाई करके आप दे दीजिए. मे बी वील हैव अनदर मीटिंग नेक्स्ट वीक, उस टाइम हम डिस्कस करके वील गिव यू द फाइनल वर्डिक्ट विदिन 10 days. ठीक है.
थैंक यू.
ओके, थैंक यू मैडम. बाय बाय बाय. अच्छा, तो राजकुमार, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट का आई थिंक जो फैकल्टी आए हुए हैं, सम ऑफ देम मे लाइक टू लीव अर्ली, हमारा कॉमन डिस्कशन को बाद में ले लेंगे. So next, if there is anybody looking forward to either Anand or Debabrata group, I don't know which group.
आनंद सर.
आनंद को ठीक है. आनंद, आनंद के अपडेट होंगी, क्या होगी उनको?
हाँ, अपडेट्स ही है उसका, उनका एक्सटेंशन भी है, प्रोजेक्ट का खत्म हो रहा है.
आनंद, are you there?
अपडेट्स ही बस.
हाँ, yes sir, yes sir.
Start.
I'm here. Yes, going further, this was the first project that we completed. It was on the first initiation in 2019. It was finished. So it was on modified picture-based irrigation system. This was a starting up. Second, next slide. No, next slide. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, this is the present one, which is going on. From April 2020, and here we are collaborating. This is a mound-based subsurface irrigation technology thought process, and done with Rupayan. And going further, we have gone into several layers of this. Next slide. So here basically the high horticulture productivity with the subsurface mound-based subsurface irrigation has been showcased But then Professor Gore had suggested couple of revised experiments which we had to do. So today I will be partially presenting the final results of some of them. Secondly, the other thing was that with temperature change, what was the how the maximum temperature is varying within the mounds also need to be understood. That is the second thought process that I will be touching today. With the other aspect, the large volumes of soils which has been desalted has already been discussed in October 2020 meeting. So that was done. So now I would like to present these two aspects. So going further, next slide.
Next
Yeah,
slide. That's
yeah. In this slide here, in this slide we are thinking of the fourth point, rather horticultural production with a nutritional thought, as well as also how the polyculture systems can help improve productivity in the arid regions using this mound based systems, rather than simple because when we are using mound based systems, large amount of soils can be treated well, and it can be made more fertile rather than saline, right? So going next slide. So here comes the second question. You can see that to put a experiment of plant growth on a mound with or and without SSPV to ascertain subsurface irrigation performance. Last time I showcased that this experiment was conducted, but I didn't discuss. I was unable to discuss the results. So today I will put that results together. Second thought process is ascertaining number 4, which is ascertaining the SSPV hybrid composting technology temperature profiling, like what happens and how this one thought process of transport is happening, and how it can be viewed with the help of the temperatures that is there, and can it be viewed using that temperature profile as we are thinking about, because the thought process of dry sink technology is brought into picture. So I will discuss that as well in the coming slide. In the point number 3 had already been discussed and showcased last in the last meeting in February. So that particular portion is also done. Only these two portions I will be discussing now. Next slide. Yeah, this was the model thought process initiation. How did we start off, and how did we start working on this? So we have a subsurface porous vessel which is kept underneath, embedded into the soil, and with time, the water slowly drops down in that subsurface porous vessel and tries to percolate into the surrounding soil, and how basically the water potential changes. So the water potential experiments I may not be discussing this time, because only just it has been finished in April time, and it has not been worked very well because of the student having corona and other things. So, and he left this location. So he went back to Andhra Pradesh for his home after the problem. So next slide. So that will be only discussed after some time. So now here comes the experiment that was given to me by Professor Gore. So he had asked to do a control experiment, and we presented this particular picture, that this is how the experiment was conducted. This started in December, and it went all the way till January end, right? Because that is the time of from November to January is one of the half seasons of the Rabi crop. You all know, might be knowing that November till April is the Rabi season. So we try to grow several of these horticulture crops here. And we now, next slide.
Now, could you just explain what the experiment was in the previous slide?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So in this particular setup, the subsurface porous vessels are kept in the center of the mound, which is around 1 meter in diameter, and the height of the total mound is around 41 to 42 centimeters, and the subsurface porous vessel is having a height of around 26 centimeters. So and we have grown here. We irrigate the soil using the water within this subsurface porous vessel, and we have closed it in order to stop the evapotranspiration, or completely chalk down the evapotranspiration here. The other thing is that we have practiced polyculture, that is many types of plants can be grown together in a particular location. So we have different, even rooting tuberous crops as well as non-tuberous crops. Tuberous crops.
Sorry to interrupt you, but to understand it briefly, like the roots of these plants are around the porous vessel. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, that's enough.
So that's what. So it basically, the roots basically come into the basic vado zone that you can tell it are at that, and also through where the percolating water also goes through the soil. So it becomes a a very good effective utilization of water, or water efficiency can be even bettered in a way. Next slide.
And 1 and 2 are control, is it?
Yes, sir.
The number 1 and 2 are control, is it? When they
Yes,
don't have a subsurface.
Yes, sir. 1 and 2 are controls, and all other things are all other things are experimental things. So here we have the thought process here. So we can see that there is I think there is a mistake in the way that the mounding has been in the tables. There is a mistake. And how it has been done, there is a mistake. So actually, mound 5 and 6 are
instead of 1, 2, you have 5 and 6.
5 and 6. Instead of that, there is a there is a small trouble. So, but here, what we can see basically from the data is that the subsurface, the mounds which are not having anything, which are basically saline soils, they are unable to actually deliver a optimal yield or productivity, even simplest productivity even. This means that there is a very stunted growth, and you can see that only leaves and some onion tappings came out. So if you are looking at the other one, in the first meeting in October, we had discussed how in 5-6 days how the salinity is taken or leached away with water, along with water, to the end of the mound. So that particular thought process actually helps here in order to bring in productivity in the other mounds of 4, 5, and 6. Sorry for the mistake, mound 1 and 2. So what basically, and the other thought process is that we are having leafy vegetables grow very well. That is showcased here. Rather, radish is also growing better, as well as a cabbage is also showing little okay growth. But you can see that carrot and cabbage are not so prominent players here. The fact being that in this hot summer, these are not very localized crops that are getting grown here. Okay, so, and in the natural environment, they don't.
Anand, you mentioned the experiment was in winter.
No, yes, sir. It was in winter, but even if it is winter, it doesn't grow here. So that's the
So
geographical.
one is the salinity and the dryness, but the other is also the heat. So
Yes, yes,
you talked about summer, so that I just wanted to clarify.
yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So this is what the initial results from Professor Gore's experiment on yield based, changes that was showcased. So going further, here many things can be done. We can also study, intercropping aggressivity. We can understand, yield, mixed yield statistics. Various many other aspects can also be studied in a polyculture environment. That is a different area altogether, and several other experiments need to be done. So I'm stopping it there. So a little while. So the next one was running the experiment for ascertaining the temperature profile within the compost zone. So this is how the mound was prepared for. I prepared two patches, that is 10 centimeter patch and 15 centimeter patch of manure around the sides of the soil. Then we installed the subsurface porous vessel inside, and we did in the same way as picture irrigation is done. Now we have enough amount of manure and soil that can go in a perfectly direct way, and it can go all across all across the height of the porous vessel. And here we had inserted these thermocouples, which you are seeing in figure number 3. That is where there is no water. You can see a small pico tablet that is lying there, and that is connected with these 8 thermocouples. They are put in different locations. That is 4 centimeters from the base, 8 centimeters from the base of the vessel, 12 and 16, and then the outside temperature as well as the surface temperature, that is the ambient as well as the surface temperature of the vessel of the mound is also taken, as well as the temperature inside water is also taken. Right. Now the water may stay here for only a day. Then what happens inside this mound? That is what is being studied. So I am making it clear that the water is going to stay only for the first day, and then afterwards we are going to try to understand what is happening inside the mound with the help of these thermocouples, these temperature readings that is there, and as well as metric potential measurements using tensiometers. So water potential energy of water helps us to understand of water within. And so tensiometers can be a parameter in order to check whether the transport is actually happening or not. So going further, next one.
How long it will take for that?
So five minutes, not more than
Make it 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. I will try 2 minutes. Okay. So this is how the mound was done in Rupayan Sansthan. Here you can see that I have written that I have created these mounds out of loamy of equal volume fraction. This means that I have taken the volume of manure is as same as that of the soil. You will realize it why I did this after this. Some of the next slides. Next slide. So this is the setup. We have this setup, the thermocouples. Next slide. Here we have the tensiometers that are there. Yes, next slide. Which is on the compost zone as well as in the non-compost zone. Now regarding how the temperature variations, humidity, as well as temperatures at various heights as well as happened throughout the experiments. That is, numerous experiments happened, around 40 days of experimentation. So this is how the data really looked like. So you can see that humidity is having an inverse proportion, inverse relationship with temperature, very clear. We all know psychrometrics in a very good manner, that That is how the temperature should look like. And you can see that all others also, have a set pattern of, the data being collected at the set pattern of increasing pattern of temperature with other temperatures, right? The correlation shows that. Next slide.
But I didn't understand, what is the correlation that you observed out of all of this data?
Now I am going to tell that, sir.
Okay.
I am going to tell that. Now, November to January was the experiment, set 1 experiments for 10 centimeter manure patch. So this is the temperature profiles. We used to take temperatures from morning around 10 to around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because after that there is lockdown and all that. There are a lot of problems that happens, and then we cannot go out and all. Then in the peak time itself, we try to stop this, and we have these temperatures. You can see that, there is an initial jump in the water temperature. This is temperature inside the SSPV. That means that on the first day, there will be water inside, and after the first day, there will be no water inside. So, but what happens? On the first day, after the first day, there is an initial jump in the temperature till the 4th day, and then it becomes completely vacant, right? And then there is a dip in the temperature. Now we know that on the first day itself, almost the water has completely gone away, and till the 4th day we have an initial jump. And then what happens is that there is a decrease in the temperature inside the subsurface porous vessel from 4th day till the 9th day. So this has been observed continuously for many days. So this may tell something about the transport. But yeah, we are going to take this particular measurements and put it into a CFD code or something, such that much more better results can be obtained. A much more better character of this can be brought out. Next slide. This is for 10 centimeter patch. Next one is for the 15 centimeter patch. Here you can observe that initially there is a dip in the temperature inside the water vessel till the 6th day. This means that there is a long time span. There is something which is trying to control the temperature for a longer time duration. Then there is an increase inside the subsurface porous vessel temperature from the 6th day till the 9th day. So this is not as similar as the 10 centimeter one, but yeah. But after that increase, you can see that there is, after that increase, 11th and 12th day, we are having a good dip in the temperature that you can clearly see from this. And again, there is a mixed fluctuation that is happening beyond the day of 15. So this might also tell us something about the possible transport of moisture, because moisture actually regulates the temperature within any porous media. Next slide. So now I am taking day one and trying to understand what actually happened in day one. So day one, I am taking all the temperatures at different levels and trying to see what is happening. So so we can see that most of the temperatures are rising towards the higher levels, like 16 centimeters, 12 centimeters, pretty high temperature lineup is given. Yes, but on the 8 centimeter location, you can see that, it is trying to have a very small range. It is not growing up. It is just at the 4 centimeter range. It is just be there. It is there. That's all. It's not changing much. Next slide. Now.
Okay. Now we have to wrap up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here we have seen that this is where there are the thermocouple is placed at the from the bottom 4 centimeter, 8 centimeter, and 12 centimeter. Here we can see a sudden dip in temperatures at these levels, And as soon as the we are going to a higher patch that is near to the mount surface, the temperature really shoots high. Next slide. Now, here we can see from day 6 and day 9, we can see that even though there is a large variation in the outside temperature, there is not much variation in the inside. This means that they are mostly completely mostly independent temperature profiles which are coming inside the subsurface, which is needed for our plant growth. Next slide. So then we finally conducted the other thought processes as well for 10 centimeters when it is February to April. Now the temperature is gaining heat. Heat is much high, 30 or more temperature is there. Now this has stopped working. This subsurface porous vessel has absolutely stopped working, as well as the patch of 10 is also not giving any signs. But next slide. Yeah, here we can see some thought process that yes, there is some movement in the temperature that is happening. There is a variation in the temperature. This means that a larger manure patch can be a better control within the mount. Next slide. I think it is the last one. Next slide. Yeah. So okay, yeah, actually, yeah. So we did a couple of experiments. We are very clear about what is happening with the temperature. We are still unable to simulate it in a a computational environment, but yeah, we are we are having a result which was required. So the moisture transport in November to January timeline was observed for 9 days, the moisture transport, while for February to April, it was only for 6 days. So we have the water conservation thought process because of temperature itself, we can tell. But for 6 days, we don't have to water that particular mount. That is what the whole thing is. Then large manure patches are very good. So that's the reason why we chose to tell that, okay, you use, half volume fraction of soil as well as half volume fraction of manure in order to do that particular mound to Rupa and Sansthan. So that's all from my side.
Thank you. I think most of us asked the question, but still 1 or 2 short questions by anyone.
See, I'm missing a thread of, impact or like utilization of all of this data. So somewhere I think there is a need to overlay the desired temperature for particular crops in a particular region with what we are achieving. And here, I mean, there's a lot of scatter of temperature data, but there isn't like a concise, clear, I would say, I would use the word, experimental output emerging, which can be applied. So I think maybe the COVID period was a challenge. You could not have 24/7 data collection or whatever. From a pure review perspective, there is, the direction is right. The setup has been set up very well to capture, but it needs to now be taken in a direction where it will have an impact on yield improvement, water conservation, better use of manure, or applying this temperature control to suit maybe some more expensive crops, so that it helps increase income of the farmer or whatever. Like
yes.
Okay, so thank you, Anand.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And Rajkumar said you needed also extension, right?
Yeah, a little small extension. Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
And we'll do it because we understand COVID very well, right? We are losing many people, so I think we'll take a common stand and uniformly probably extend at least 3, maybe 6 months will be better option.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Rajkumar, whom we go next?
Sir, ये Devabrata sir.
Devabrata.
Hello.
I know things are not so good as expected, because of various reasons, but you are the person to tell us.
Yeah, so we developed the thing more than a year ago, but we could not.
Can we see you? We are insisting on seeing people.
Can you see me?
Yes, very much.
So we prepared this enclosure more than a year ago, but we could not conduct the field validation for that. We have done an experiment here at IIT campus, and the results were satisfactory.
If you have those things, sorry, Debrata, just to remind us, if you have some pictures or video, maybe if you can show, or maybe Suraj can show if he has it, whoever it is.
Suraj, do you have the presentation?
Sir, I'll have search for it if I find it.
So let him start, maybe you can speak.
Yeah. So, but since last 1 year, we could not conduct field trip owing to COVID and all those things. So what we were thinking is, can we conclude the project and we can add a field trip data later on, or shall we keep on extending this? Because in the COVID times, it's difficult to conduct a field trip, and then we will try to conclude, show the results maybe in the next meeting, and then.
What we'll do, Debrata, we'll take your request, and maybe in our next internal meeting, we'll discuss this thing, that how we would like to consider such projects, no?
Yes.
And whatever we decide, we'll let you know accordingly. Okay. You have to explain this thing?
Yeah, so the problem was that we needed a technique by which the stone carvers, basically they are exposed to the dust inhalation, and because of that they develop silicosis and other issues. And we visited their place in it was in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. The images are from there, and we saw that even though the contractor gives them masks, they usually don't wear them. So maybe it could be related to their comfort, or maybe prolonged use of mask leading to choking and all those things. But the end result is that they don't wear those masks. And then we started the project with an aim to develop something which will actually prevent that stone dust inhalation. And the classical techniques to do that are to have a ventilation hood, or to use water jet, or to use mask. But since they are not using masks, water is a scarce commodity in Rajasthan, and we can't have a ventilation hood in an outside environment like the one which was shown in the previous slide. So we started thinking out of the box, and finally we designed this type of an umbrella. So this is a collapsible hood, so we can actually open it, and when it's the use is over, we can actually fold it and keep it aside. So there are two holes through which the artisan may insert his hands, hold the tool and work. And we have conducted a few experiments where we can see that because of the presence of this hood, the extent of inhalation of the dust is reduced many times. So this is one thing, and this particular material is a sheet type of material, and we have coated it with anti-static coating, so that the face through which the artisan is seeing the workpiece is not actually getting dust, and the visibility is maintained. So this was developed, I think, last year in January or February, but we could not conduct the field trip where we would see the actual artisans work using this and share their feedback, so that the further development could be done. So that particular.
How do you measure the dust being in?
We have actually instruments by using which, so there we use dust trap to measure dust. So you can see the instrument that I am holding here in my hand. So
okay.
This instrument
so
can
it's an indirect method. You check the concentration around the face of the worker, with and without.
Level of the worker.
Okay, got it. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Debrata. Here I wanted to just mention one or two things. Recently, there was a meeting with Dr. Bapat and Professor Shantanu Chaudhary is the director of IIT Jodhpur, and he mentioned about silicosis in that our brainstorming meeting when he was the director of CSI SCD Pilani. With them, RUTAG has conducted one workshop at Jaipur. And in that Jaipur, one NGO has brought out this problem, and then he actually scolded us because he has exposed this problem before in Bharatpur, 1 year before. And after coming back from Jaipur only, we approach two of you, to take it very seriously, and all the business have been made, right? So, but IIT Jodhpur has taken Sirohi, one district in Rajasthan, probably as I don't know, they call it aspirational district, something like that. No, Government of
Yes,
India.
aspirational district. It
Yeah,
is an
yeah.
aspirational district of the Government of India,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Professor Chaudhary has actually started a Sirohi model project. So
Yes.
in that we are trying to challenge all these problems from different angles and try to
Yes.
do something for
Yes.
Sirohi,
So
and
good.
also working with the district
Good
collectors.
that Ananda is still here and he has seen the device, because I mentioned to Shantanu that okay, after the Jaipur meeting we have actually taken up with Bandi and Devrata this project, and maybe what I'll do is after this meeting I'll request Suraj to share this PDF on the slides to Anand, because Anand is now looking after IIT Jodhpur's some technology development centers there, rural. So I'm sure he should be able to share these things with Shantanu. Of course, I can also see it to Shantanu as well. Now, the important point what Shantanu was telling in the brainstorming session, because Shantanu has been identified as the chairman of the Central Project Evaluation Committee of the RUTAC centers by the PSS office, and that is the reason that brainstorming session was there. So they were thinking many aspects of the problem. Like, for example, it seems silicosis disease detection itself is an issue actually. So they're talking in from the X-rays or the CT scan. It seems TB and silicosis are so similar that even they don't get detected so easily. But then I shared Devrat's experience of how difficult it was to enter that area, what he was mentioning, when they visited the field and people were not at all worried about their health because they thought everything is all right and stuff like that, right?
Because
So keeping everything.
they also get money from the government if
yeah.
acquire that disease.
So keeping all these things in mind, Devrat, what I want, since your experimental work is stuck anyway, so can you write some documents about this thing? Because I think in one hand, when you go to the villages, you look at the technological issues, but the social issues or the other practical issues, like there are a lot of water developed based solutions might be there. There may be many sophisticated solutions might be existing, which would be cheaper even actually, right? But then if the electricity is not there, how to manage it, So keeping all this keeping all these things in mind, maybe Suraj can help you to draft a document, which either we call it a paper or we put a popular article, where I want this experience should be captured, because many people, later on I spoke to another person, Ajit said he's a retired IS officer. He also mentioned to me about this silicosis and stuff like that, right? But people are all looking at the technological aspects only, but the social and other issues are not. But now you have a hands-on experience. So I want that thing to be captured in the form of a document. Either we communicate in a paper if we find it appropriate, giving this technological low-cost solution which you're providing, or we might bring out an article. So is that be possible in next 2 months, 3 months time?
I think it's possible, but it would have created appeal if further experimental validation could have been completed.
No, that we'll do, Devrata, but before we forget, because it's more than 1 year, and when this discussion happen in the forum, like I know when it will be discussed in PSS office, they will be again talking about the technological solution. But how to take care of this other aspect of this thing, where technology will 100% will fail, whatever solution you give. I want this portion to be captured more. I'm not asking of a technology paper, I'm asking about the techno-social aspect of this project actually to be captured and keep it ready, and so that whenever necessary I can pass on to the PSS office that okay, hey, look into the other aspect. Don't think of giving 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 1 crore rupees just to get the technology solution, because I fear otherwise they look at that aspect and this aspect will be ruled out actually.
Yeah, this is
I think I agree with that. Yeah. I just want to add that I fully agree with this. Just 1 minute, Debrita, because we are experiencing this kind of issues in every technology that we are trying to develop. So I think it's very it'll be a very good idea to document this. Sorry,
yes,
Debrita.
I also feel so. Yes.
Okay. So maybe Suraj will pester you and Bunny, and I will pester Suraj in turn, right? Let's target by the summer end, we get at least a draft version ready, so that Suraj also gets an additional paper, not directly from his PhD, but helping you. So that may be his motivation to write it for you. Actually.
Okay, okay. We can do that. So I will ask Shubham. Shubham resides in Delhi itself.
Very good.
I will ask him to come here and maybe we can conduct a few controlled experiments so that the validity of our claim is also established.
And he is very diligent Ruta Club member also. Every Ruta Club meetings he comes in.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Debrata and Bunny.
Suraj's help extensively because now as part of the MTech committee chairman, I will be busy for next 10 weeks with MTech admission.
Okay, no problem. So
I
they
will
will
be there. I will also.
right, Bunny volunteer. So,
yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Before you leave, Professor Dasgupta, before you leave, just wanted to quickly share one thing that is readily available, which is equivalent to the concept you have in a different way, that it's like a face shield. Should I just
They don't use face shield. And
see, this is the thing which is available ready-made for around 1,500 rupees.
Yeah, but our thing will be available at 150 or 200 rupees.
Okay.
Anyway, so we'll see who wins over much.
Covering their face, Professor Godar, they are not comfortable covering their face. Maybe they face breathing issues, or after exertion they find it difficult to wear, or maybe they smoke or do something, and they are not comfortable with even simple mask, so they won't be face shields in hot summer day. I suppose.
I like that glove box concept. Maybe for Debrata's information, in Bark when I visited, they use the nuclear material handles using a glove box also. I'm sure you must have seen those things.
So this is a collapsible glove box. That is nothing more than that.
Okay.
But then even when they put the hands on, because those are nuclear material, they even put a gloves
inside.
Here you have let the guy enter in the empty hand. So if you wanted to put an additional shield on the top of that thing, I mean, if required, I do not know.
If we put gloves inside that, then there are two issues. One is the hygiene issue. Suppose one worker is using that and some other worker starts to use that, and we don't know how what are the habits of that first worker. This is one thing, and second is the cost issue, because putting additional gloves will increase the cost. We didn't wanted the cost to go up.
Good. Okay. Sure. So thank you. We look forward for that article now. Actually, thank you, Bunny, for volunteering to help. Thank you.
So she is also the PI of that.
You wanted to add anything, Bunny, by any chance?
No, that's fine. I just had the result also where we have shown this change once we use this glove box.
Yes.
So I can show that if you have time, or
yeah. We have empty time.
Yeah. Just
we need to conduct more experiments. These results that Bunny will be showing are promising. Actually, you can see a massive reduction in the exposure.
So maybe these results can be added in the same presentation we can share with the PSS office.
Yeah, so is my screen visible?
Yes, visible.
So the red is
so this is the result actually which we had.
The red line is without dome and yellow line is with dome.
Okay.
Actually, we need to conduct more experiments to check the repeatability of the results.
Okay.
But with time it is going up. ये पता नहीं क्यों हो रहा है? Because of the concentration going up. Because red is coming down with time, and the yellow seems to be climbing up as we go to 150.
No, actually, when they operate the device, they don't do it continuously. Rather, they operate and then maybe stop for a few seconds, reoperate that, and then there are other factors like wind, which is blowing from outside, and all those things. So it's basically a culmination of that, and we need to check the repeatability of these results. And then on an average sense, we have to see whether with and without dome things are actually promising or not.
Yeah, but the only thing is all four graphs. If you look at the end, all of them are showing a pattern which is kind of intuitively pointing ki, there's something to be maybe checked in the data. Could there be some data collection error, or is there something happening which we don't know? Like
Professor Godara, these are different size particles and they will behave differently.
No, my point was in the end, all of them are exhibiting a similar thing that, without dome and with dome, the with dome average is going over the without dome average, which is unexpected, and it is happening across the particle sizes.
I think the student has kept the data when he is actually taking his hands out and all those things. So he should have stopped the experiment before that. So we have to check that. That's what I'm saying.
So please check
we have
that.
to check the repeatability of these results.
Yeah, I know. But if we presented at another forum where it is not very friendly, then this will be.
No, we'll not present in that case.
Yes, so that's what we have. We are showing this, but we won't be adding this. Controlled experiments.
Just occurred from the ergonomic point of view, the posture part, should that be looked into a little bit, whether that posture is a normal posture, what they use it, or it is some extra effort was required to extend the hands little out in order to put them in the glove box?
That I think we can look into, but we need some inputs from the artisan.
No, we actually, I think Suraj has some access of maybe some information from different, and I think Shubham or someone else can coordinate with him. I think there are some typical postures and which are comfortable, not comfortable, because there will be a lot of pictures available. How do they do it in existing scenario? And assuming they would be comfortable postures, and how different this person is doing it, or typically expected to do it because of the presence of this glove, can be looked into as an extension of this activity.
Okay.
I agree. Actually, my motivation to show that face shield also came out of seeing the posture, that it was very close, this transparent material close to his face. So I thought, why not cover the face and relieve him of flexibility? You're right, actually. Something ergonomically has to be.
Okay. Chalo, thank you, Bunny and their brother. So let's move on to the next project. I think that in the end. कौन है next?
बस तीन डिस्कशन के लिए था, हो गया सर.
ठीक है. Okay. So अभी I think we are almost close to one. कुछ important discussion है तो बताओ, नहीं तो end करें.
अभी तो और कुछ नहीं है डिस्कशन के लिए इस इधर से इम्पोर्टेंट.
ठीक है. ओके, तो आज तो हमारा वीकली मीटिंग यही हो गया ना. दिस इज इटसेल्फ इज अ मीटिंग, राइट?
यस सर, यस. वो मैम आई हैं जम्मू से.
हाँ, एक मिनट. तो टुडे आफ्टरनून मीटिंग इज नॉट देयर, तो मैम आई चली भी गई होगी. रिया, आर यू देयर?
हाय सर.
यस लेफ्ट. अच्छा, तो विनय को भी बुलाया था? विनय भी है?
नहीं, विनय सर को तो नहीं बुलाया.
Sir, I have just joined. I have just joined the meeting.
So you want to say something, Vinay, by any chance?
Right, sir. Regarding the patent, actually, Suraj, can you discuss?
बोलो.
Sir?
बोलो. He told me already.
Acha, he told that the patent cannot be filed. It will be difficult because the document is already published.
ठीक है. तो मैंने बोला forgo कर देते. Just forget about it.
Okay, sir. That is the point.
Okay.
Professor, should we take this time to welcome Saket into the team? He's on
Yes, yes, very much. Yes. So Saket, तुम भी थोड़ा कैमरा ऑन कर दो. So let us welcome Saket as one of our project staff in our vending card project. So Saket थोड़ा सा introduction दे दो 30 seconds के लिए.
Okay, sir. So, before joining this project, I was already working in IT since 2 years under Dr. Tyagi for a DRDO project. So, I have recently joined. Recently, I think officially this is my figures of since 31st I was working the project itself. So, I have done my BTech in manufacturing engineering from NIFFT Ranchi. After that, I worked in industry for, and then I did my MTech from NIT Kurukshetra, and after that, I'm working in IT. So next 1 year, I will be working on the project called on the design of smart vending cart, in which I will be looking at the solar refrigeration part, the cooling of the vegetables for prolonged to avoid the early spoilage, so its quality gets preserved for extra 10-15 days.
Okay, thank you, Saket. And maybe since you inspired me to introduce Saket, I will introduce another boy, Shashank. Shashank from Sense, he's doing MTech in Sense, is the center. No? He wanted to do MTech project with me, so I said, okay, if you're interested in Rutac things. Maybe Shashank, तुम भी थोड़ा सा how 30 seconds के लिए introduction दे दो about your background in front of all of us here.
Sir, my name is Shashank Kumar. I have done mechanical BTech in mechanical engineering from.
कैमरा ऑन कर दो. हमारा हम चाहते हैं कैमरा खोल के बात करें, दिल खोल के बात करें.
Sir, I have done BTech in mechanical engineering, and then I am pursuing instrument technology, MTech in instrument technology from science department. I have 8.75 CGPA here in science department.
Very good.
And I have a keen interest in mechanical engineering, so I want to do my major project here.
तो अजय गर्ग में जब तुमने बीटेक किया है, वहाँ पे रोबोटिक्स क्लब में तुम पार्टिसिपेट किया था?
सर वहाँ पे वो उनका वो है, वहाँ पे कोर है, टाइफेक कोर है वहाँ पे सर, वो करके रोबोट.
पता है मेरे को, आशीष शाह हमारे बहुत अच्छे दोस्त है एक्चुअली.
अच्छा, सर ने पढ़ाया है मेरे को.
आशीष शाह भी है, हमारे एक स्टूडेंट भी है, एमटेक का स्टूडेंट विकास है. विकास इज आवर एक स्टूडेंट फ्रॉम हियर. विकास को जानते हो?
विकास कुमार नहीं जानता मैं, पर मैं आशीष को सर जानता हूँ. मतलब उन्होंने मुझे पढ़ाया, उन्होंने मेरे को इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीन्स एंड कंट्रोल्स पढ़ाया.
चलो, वेरी गुड. Okay, so thank you all for joining this meeting, rather long meeting, and including those who have participated in Welder also. So our next, this is our next monthly meeting will be held. Date decide कर ले? क्या it is typically the Tuesdays only? क्या करते हैं हम? राजकुमार?
जनरली मंथली मीटिंग में हम ये वेल्डर और दोनों को मर्ज करते हैं. और
तो जुलाई, तो हम इसी डेट में कर लेते, इट विल बी इजी ना. जिस डेट में हमारा मीटिंग होती है ट्यूसडे को
जी,
तो जुलाई 13 कर ले. जुलाई 13 is a Tuesday. Ravi Sangeeta, Upinder, is it okay?
Sorry, what date did you say?
13th. Lucky 13th.
All right.
अभी तक ठीक है. कुछ और ओवर रूलिंग ना आ जाए तो फिर ठीक है.
हाँ नहीं, अभी के लिए, बाकी तो इमरजेंसी में तो चेंज करेंगे. ओके.
Okay, from my side also.
ठीक है, चलो, थैंक यू, बाय ऑल.
ओके, बाय बाय, थैंक यू.
क्लब इसका समर के लिए मेल.
हाँ, सॉरी,
जो समर के लिए हाउ डू वी प्रोसीड, उनको मेल लिखना है कि क्या करें?
लास्ट डेट क्या है? लास्ट डेट क्या है?
कल ही था.
कल था?
यस सर.
हाँ, तो एक बार लिस्ट एक बार भेज दो मेरे को, संगीता को. मे बी टू ऑफ अस विल पुट लिटिल माइंड एंड देन विल डिस्कस. ठीक है?
ठीक है.
चलो, थैंक यू, बाय बाय.
बाय बाय.
Bye.
नमस्कार सर। जी ठीक है सर, ठीक है। नहीं नहीं, यहीं पे है, दिल्ली में।